Right. What is happening, team? So, 24.2. Now, just like last week, I have got open strategy, warm up, some tips and tricks on how we can best get or how we can get the best score out of this workout. Now, before we do anything, we're going to do exactly what we did last week, and we're going to read the brief and we're going to read the standards because just like last week, we're not fucking idiots and we don't get the workout wrong. We get the workout, we get the workout right. So, with that being said, let me find the many various tabs that I have open here. So, looking through the brief, looking through the standards, it's a pretty straightforward workout. 20 minutes, as many rounds and reps as possible of a 300-meter row, 10 deadlifts at 56 kilos for the women and 83 kilos for the guys, and 50 double unders. So, pretty decent going, pretty decent sweat, pretty decent workout. It's a very good test, in my opinion. I do think there's quite a lot of pulling from the floor, but hey, oh, it is. So, quick start, seated at the rower with hands off the paddle or the handle. At the call of go, row 300 meters, complete all 10 deadlifts, finishing the round by completing 50 double unders, continuing the sequence for 20 minutes. Now, scoring for this, every 10 meters is a rep. So if you do 237 meters, that's 23 reps. That's how it's scored. And if time expires during the row, record your score when the monitor has come to a rest, which is a very important point. So when you're getting to the end, when you're tired, if you're on that rower, like give it beans up until the 3, 2, 1, and then the rower will tick over. And then once it stops, and once the rower comes to a stop, that is your final score, which is actually very, very, it's good that they've done that. Now, a couple of important things when it comes to standards, right? So with the standards, the monitor must be set as 0 at the beginning of each row. So ideally, if you've got someone close by that can do that for you so that you don't need to fanny about and do it, that would be great. The monitor must count up to the designated distance and any used, right? You need to remain bum on seat until that hits 300. You can't pull, come off at 280 and hopefully that it ticks over. You have to be sat in the seat until it hits 300. Again, that's a common no rep. With the deadlifts are pretty straightforward, just making sure that you finish completely standing, right? So that you're not soft at the knees, at the hips, your head isn't over, and you're not bouncing it deliberately off the floor like a maniac, okay? And then with the double unders, pretty straightforward. Rope has to travel underneath you twice. Now, for some of you who's watching this, double unders aren't going to be in your locker. So I've got a couple of different ways that we can potentially approach that. Step number one is, we scale the workout and we just do singles, and that's absolutely fine. You can scale workouts. It's okay to do that. What I do here at Gainline is I try and make sure that, we put things in place, progressions in place, lots of practice elements to the training so that when workouts like this do come up, we have the skills necessary in order to do it. Some of my clients who have not got the strongest double unders in the bag, what I recommend for them to do is single doubles. So it takes you a lot longer to get the 50 in. However, you're able to rack them up and just chip your way through. If you'd rather get like an RX score on the board, that's something that I would recommend is just chip yourself away, just by doing single doubles. That's something that I'm gonna be recommending to some people. And then one important point is that I feel it said, if I look back here, right, athletes may receive assistance in resetting the rower between rounds. You're not allowed to use gymnastic grips. I do believe that you're not allowed to get help to reset your ropes when you put them down. So that's something to keep in mind, and that's something to bear in mind. I don't know if that is 100% true. I don't see it written here. However, Andrew Hiller posted a video on his Instagram saying that as per the rule book, that's not something that is actually allowed. So, do with that information what you wish. Now, for some of the people, or for some plenty of people out there who have, like the deadlifts are easy, it's not heavy, and they have double unders in their locker, this is going to just be a test of your engine. And what is very interesting about this workout is that even for the best in the world, for Colton Mertens and for Justin Medeiros yesterday, they spent, I think, Justin Medeiros was like 1 minute 56 seconds, and Colton Mertens was 2 minutes plus in transitions alone. So if the best in the world are taking 2 minutes to make transitions, and then when you watch it on the live announcement, they were barely taking any breaks. There was no breaks whatsoever. They were really, really quick from bit of kit to bit of kit to bit of kit, and it just goes to show that if they're moving at that pace and it still adds up to 2 minutes over a 20-minute span, where are we sitting at? How much time do we chew up in transitions? So one thing that I would like to recommend to a lot of you guys is that row a little bit slower than you want to, and just make the transitions as fast as you possibly can. That's a lot of free fitness. That's a lot of time that you could gain back in the workout that others potentially on that leaderboard might not. And that's something that I've recommended to some of the RX and the elite guys that I'm working with, is that, you know, you could do the deadlifts unbroken, you could do the double unders unbroken, not trip a single time, and you can row a decent pace on the rower. But if you're taking, 5 seconds, 10 seconds every single station, and someone else isn't, that's where it's made up. It's in transitions. There's a lot of transitions in this workout, so making sure you keep them to a minimal is something that I would recommend highly. With that being said, let's get to the warm-up. So, similar to last week, there was GoWOD. They're doing a free thing during the Open. It's always good to try and loosen the body off. I've been using that. I use it all the time. I pay for it, but it's free during the Open. I think they try and tie you in to use their app afterwards. But options there. Then going to be a wee heart rate builder. So just actually getting warm and actually getting just the juices flowing. 2 to 5 minutes on the bike, 2 to 5 minutes on the row, however much time you've got. You could just spend that time on the row. It's completely up to yourself, or just on the bike. Totally up to you. And it is some specific movement prep. So you're going to do 2 sets of 20 banded good mornings into 10 single leg calf raises per leg, and then 12 lunges with an overhead reach. So you'll lunge, your knee will touch the floor. You're going to reach with both hands overhead, lean back, squeeze your glutes, get a nice wee stretch through the hip. And then you're going to do 2 sets of that, just again getting the body a little bit warming up the calves, warming up the hamstrings, and warming up the glutes and the low back. In fact, what I'm also going to do is add in 20 seconds. 20 seconds side plank. I'm actually going to add that in. 20 seconds and 20 seconds side plank. You can do this on your knees or on your feet, just to get the core fired up as well, because there is a fair amount of deadlifting in this. There's a fair amount of hinging from the row, so making sure your core is really, really warm is going to be pretty key. Now you're getting into the actual sort of meat and potatoes of it. We're going to do 5 deadlifts at a lighter weight. It's going to be nice and easy. 20 single unders, 5 deadlifts at workout weight, 20 double unders. And you're just going to kind of, if you feel like you need to, you're going to spend a few minutes working on your double unders to try and grease the groove. There's going to be plenty of my guys and my athletes that can just crank them out no bother, and there's going to be plenty of people that are going to be struggling with these and stuck with them. So if you have to go to that single double approach, that's absolutely fine. This isn't done fast, by the way. This is like for quality, like you're just doing some of the movements, you're just getting used to it. We've already spent up to 5 minutes on the row here, and this is us now warming up separately the different movements. Once we've then done that and we feel comfortable with it, we're going to go in a heart rate spiker. So we're ideally going to get our heart rate to the place that it's going to be in the workout. This is a mistake that a lot of people make before they get into workouts, is they just jump in, dive straight into cold water, without kind of getting themselves acclimatized to it first. So you're going to do a 100-meter row, which isn't far at all, 5 deadlifts at the workout weight, and then 20 double unders or single unders, depending on if you're doing scaled or RX. You'll do 1 to 2 rounds of that at a really high click, really high effort. You should be panting. You should be worried. You should be like, oh my God, I went way too fast. And then you're going to rest, recover, chill, get some water on, and then we're going to fucking get after it. So that's going to be the game plan. This should take, that's 10, 20, half an hour maybe to get through all of that. If you do it in its entirety, you could cut that in half by not doing the GoWOD and just going straight into the heart rate builder at the lower end, and you can get warm and get into this within 10 and 15 minutes. So if you want to spend a good amount of time, half an hour to build up to it, if you're ready to just fucking get going, boom, you could get it done in 10, 15 minutes. So there you go. That is 24.2. I'm going to put the link to this document in the description as well for you guys that need it. And if there's anything else that I can do to help, just let me know. Otherwise, good luck. Anything? Well, yeah, in fact, anything that you do need, just drop us a wee message, whether it be on Instagram or if you're in the free coaching chat, just drop me a message on that. And like I said, anything else you need, just shout. Adios.